Part 2 of the course Python tutorial for beginners. In lecture number 9 of part 1, we have studied various operators and how they can be implemented. Such operators may be in, is, and not. In this section, we are going to study about the conditional statements. The question is why there is a need of conditional statements. As we know that the flow of execution of every program code will start from first line and it ends at the last line. The flow will be continuous way. Means the first line of the code will be executed first, then after the second line, then after the third, and so on. But there will be some situations where we need to stop the flow of control for certain period and we should continue again based upon certain conditions. Let us try to understand this concept with two examples. The first example is there is a program I want to develop where I need to display only the numbers from 1 to 10. I don't want to display the numbers after 10. In this case, I should not write a program which is in the continuous flow. For this particular case, definitely we need to mention some condition that when the printing of 10 is completed, then immediately the printing process should be stopped. For these cases, definitely there is a need of conditional statements. And another example is even sometimes we need to display the numbers from 1 to 10, but not all the numbers. Still, we need to display only even numbers. Means in this case, we cannot directly identify what even numbers are. As a human being, we can do it, but as a machines, definitely there should be some logic through which the machine can understand which numbers are even numbers. In that case also, we need to write some code or we can say some condition, and every time we need to check the value which is going to print with the condition. Means for example, all the even numbers are considered with a logic called as a modulus 2. A modulus 2 is exactly equal to 0. Means when you divide any number with 2, if its remainder is 0, then they are even numbers. So this verification process is also be done by using conditional statements. Let us try to understand these conditional statements more clearly by taking some simple examples. For the first example, I am taking a variable a equal to 10 and another variable b equal to 20. Means I am assigning value 10 to a and 20 to b. Here I want to check whether a value is assigned with 10 or 20 with a condition. Then what I will do is I will use a if statement saying that as if a is exactly equal to 2, sorry, if a is exactly equal to 10, then what I have to do? Remember, you see, after the if statement, definitely you need to mention the colon, but because it is the syntax. Then I will write a frame statement saying that a is equal to 10. A is equal to 10 and press the enter button. Then you press shift and backspace to go back, and to see the output press enter button here. What is happened? You see a is equal to 10 means when the condition we mentioned here, if a is exactly equal to 10, then only we are asking to print the statement saying it as a is equal to 10. Means the execution of this particular statement will be done only when this condition is true. This is the working of if statement. But what happens if the condition is not true? Let us take the same example. I am using the same code for this one. Instead of keeping exactly equal to, I will keep not equal to. What happens if A is not equal to 10? Let us try to see the output. After coming to the next line, just you press the shift and backspace to go back and press the enter button. Now you see you didn't find any answer or the output. Why? Because the condition we mentioned here is not true. That's why none of the print statement, this print statement is not executed. In these cases, in this particular case, means if the condition mentioned is not true, if you want to say something, this if statement will not work. For that one, definitely we have to go for if else statement. If else statement is going to work with a specific condition or more than one conditions, and it will execute something when the condition is true, and even it is going to execute something when the condition is false. Let us try to see this example. If A is exactly equal to 10, keep a colon, print what I want to print. I want to print A is equal to 10. Here I want to mention the else statement. To mention the else statement, you have to go back. For that, press the shift and backspace. And here let it be else and keep a colon. In the previous class only, we discussed that indentation is going to play a vital role while writing block of statements. That's why it's very important to check it out whether you are writing the statements based upon the indentation only or not. Otherwise, you are going to get the error. And go to the next line. Here I will use one more print statement saying it as A is not equal to 10, or otherwise you can say that B value is equal to 10. Here there is no need of the B variable. We are working with only one variable, that is A. That's why I am writing as A is not equal to 10. Means this code is going to clearly tell that when the mentioned condition, means when the condition is true, that is A is exactly equal to true, then this print statement is going to be executed. Otherwise, if this condition is not true, then the else part is going to be executed. Let us see the output first. Press shift and enter, shift and backspace, then press the enter button. Now you see A is equal to 10. Now the same code I will use it to execute the else part print statement rather than the true statement print. Here, instead of taking double equal to, exactly equal to, I will go for not equal to. Means as we know that the value of A is 10, but what we are seeing here, we have mentioned that A is not equal to 10. Means in this case the condition is not going to be true. So the execution part is going to move to the else part. In the else part, what we have written? We have written an output statement saying that you have the program has to display a statement called as A is not equal to 10. Let us see whether we are going to get the same output or not. Go back, shift and backspace, then press the enter button. Now you see A is not equal to 10. This is the way how you can work with the if else statement. Let us consider some more examples to clearly understand how if statement is going to work. For that one, the same variables again I am declaring. A is assigned with 10 value and B is assigned with 20. Now what I will do is I will write a condition. Means here I want to mention two conditions, right? One condition is if A is exactly equal to 10, and one more condition, when you are trying to place one more condition in the if statement, you need to use the boolean operators. The boolean operators such as and or. Here I want to use a boolean operator and. if a is exactly equal to 10 and b value is exactly equal to 20, then what I have to do? I have to say that a is 10, or otherwise you can say a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. B is equal to 10, 20. Now you need to, here I am not mentioning any else part. That means that this print statement is going to execute only when these two conditions are true. Remember, when you mention the AND operator here, it is compulsory that both the conditions, this A equal to 10 and B equal to 20, should be true. Means when the both conditions should be true, then only you are going to see this particular output on the screen. Otherwise, you will not see anything. Let us try to observe what output we are getting. Shift and backspace and then press the enter button. Now you see we got the output. Why? Because the two conditions mentioned here in the if statement are true. What happens if any of the if statement is not true? Copy the same code and paste it. And here what I will do is I will mention not equal to. Means in this particular case what happens? One condition will be true but another condition will be false. When it is the case, it is not going to execute the print statement. Let us see the output. See, we haven't got any output, right? In this case, what we have to do is, instead of using the AND statement, for example, if your intention is only to have one condition to be true, then instead of using the AND boolean operator, you can go for OR boolean operator. Let us see how that OR boolean operator will work. I am copying the same code, pasting, and replace this AND with OR. What this OR operator is going to tell? Either of the condition is true, means even if the first condition is true and or the second condition is true, then go for the execution of this statement. Means in this particular case we are going to see the output. Let us check it out. Fine, we got the output, that is a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. But what we want to do, you forgot about this statement. What string it is printing, it's not the case. We need to understand how this OR operator is going to work. In the same way as you have used for if statement, you can use these same examples of boolean and OR operator for if else statement also. I hope you understood how the conditional statements is going to work in Python. Try to practice with more examples and become an expert in this one. I hope you understood very clearly. In the next lecture, we are going to learn about the looping statement.